Welcome back to the channel, hosers. It's Backdoor Tactical coming to you, and we're a couple days removed from the OIC gun ban in Canada, and I just wanted to give you a quick update on that before we dive into the reason for this review, which is going to be a quick optics showdown. So it was announced yesterday that the CCFR, the Canadian Coalition of Firearms, is challenging the ruling in court under the Charter, Section 7. They're going to take this to court and have the onus put on the Liberal government to prove that that there's no charter violations. I'll be honest, I don't know if it's a long shot or if it's something that's reasonable. The bill does have quite a few glaring holes in it. Further, the 10-12 gauge shotgun debate. Bill Blair came out saying that the intent of the bill was never to include shotguns. It was strictly 20 millimeter bore, and it was to basically prohibit certain types of grenade launchers. Well, the problem is you can't say what you meant it to be. That won't hold up in court. The legalese is written in such a way that a bill is not really open to interpretation. It's either it's a good or it's no good, meaning you can't say, well, I didn't mean to include that, so don't worry about it, because all it takes is an overzealous cop to measure your bore, and if you're over the 20 millimeters, you're in violation. It doesn't matter what Bill Blair said on the news or in an interview. You've exceeded the written letter of the law, and there'll be repercussions for that. So again, it shows the haste with in which the bill was rushed to pass, and further, I truly think with a lot of these glaring holes that it was written by people who don't really know the firearms that they're trying to mandate. If they would have just got somebody who knew what they were doing and worked with the general firearm community, then this could have been done a lot better. The big objection I keep hearing about the AR specifically is that, yes, while Canada limits you to 5-round magazines, there's nothing stopping you from using a 30 round, a 60 round, a 100 mag, imported illegally from the States, or, if you cut out the rivet that we use. But by that rationale, I mean, everything can be illegal then if you modify it. Whoever imports these PMags into Canada, or any mag for that matter, it is their responsibility to pin them and ensure that they will not exceed more than 5 rounds. And, the retailers take that extremely serious. That's their livelihood. If they don't pin it properly, then there's serious repercussions for them. They can lose their license, they can lose their business. But again, this is something that if they would have worked with the community, it could have came together a lot better. So enough about that. The only thing I could suggest to you guys further is to contribute to the CCFR if you're not already a member. If you are a member, I think you could still give a small donation. I believe it's as small as $5. If you're not a member, try if you can, if it's in your fiscal means to join. It's a 1-year membership. I'm not sure exactly how much it was. I think with my donation, the annual fee and the there's a $10 upgrade for legal insurance. I think it came out to like $55 for me. So, guys, if you can, just please support the cause and pass it on to your friends. And
did you really text me to bring you coffee while I'm working?
Oh, I texted you a while ago.
Give me those chips.
Yep. Okay, now I'm gonna have to edit this. Jesus, I was on a roll. I don't have chips now. Okay, we'll fix it. We'll fix it in post. It's not bad. We can move on. She's always complaining. Jesus. Why can't you be like Stevie? Anyways, okay, let's get back on track. So, Trijicon ACOG just arrived today. I bought this on the equipment exchange. The guy claimed it was like new, and I have no reason to doubt it. I took a quick look at it already. So the model is the TA33-H. I believe H is for the horseshoe. Yeah, horseshoe. So beautiful little optic. This, I believe, isn't. I'm not too versed on ACOGs. Obviously, my first one. I don't know much about them. Just that they're typically 3.5 or 4 zoom, where fixed magnification. Sorry. Whereas this one's 3. So I'm thinking it might be older. But here you go. This is what it looks like. Beautiful optic. He threw on an American Defense quick release mount, so I paid a little bit extra for that, but honestly it's well worth it. The original is just the regular whatever it has a T something name that comes with. So the Trijicons are super simple. They have screws and you could just change them out. So this looks pretty well built. I'm sure it is, but I really like the quick detach. I try to get quick detach on everything I can. I was going to show you guys some of the outdoor footage of this, but it's kind of drizzling out, and I heard that Trijicons don't do well in the rain. They don't like water. They're kind of delicate. Obviously, guys, I'm joking. These things are bomb proof. There's a reason that they cost what they cost, and there's a reason that the Army uses them. And well, not just the Army, but a lot of military and police applications use them. So this is it. This is a fixed 3. I'm going to roll in some footage of the upside down horseshoe. Has a fiber optic, so this doesn't require a battery. What it does is it gathers up the light and it illuminates the horseshoe, and I think just the first hash mark. At quick glance, it's the bottom hash mark doesn't. And indoors, it's hard to see. I'm not sure. It kind of looks like the first hash is starting to, but you could tell the second hash is lighter. And then the final hash, I believe it goes 100, no, the 235 maybe. Yeah, so the bullseye, the center dot is 100. You zero it for 100, and then I believe it's calibrated to 556 with a 200, 300, and 500 drop off. So beautiful little optic. I have to admit, this fiber optic really works. I took a quick peek outside and it just lit up like phenomenal. I'm going to show you some footage because for comparison's sake, I took my Strike Eagle. So Vortex Strike Eagle, this is the 1:8. And this thing has 11 settings. And guys, I'm not even exaggerating. When I went outside, I've never used this one outside because my range is indoors, and I've only used it indoors, so I don't know if you could see or not, but I went outside on number 9 and I couldn't even register that the light was on. I had to put it up to 11 and I could see that it was illuminating, but it was still pretty faint compared to this. So just goes to show the quality. This is just using a straight fiber optic, and it's getting brighter in daylight than an 11 setting battery operated Vortex. So just going to show you quickly the size differences and maybe the weight. So with the American Defense mount, this thing weighs 264 grams, which is 9.3 ounces. Okay, so 264, 9.3. Whereas the Vortex with its mount, now mind you, this is a 1:8 low power variable optic. With the mount, guys, this goes up to 658 or 1 pound 7 ounces. So almost 3 times as heavy with this particular Vortex cantilever mount. So I mean, maybe you could find lighter mounts, but this has always been the knock on this optic for me, is that when I put it on my Stag 3G, I just find that the Stag 3G is already a heavy gun, and then you're adding another pound and 7 ounces with this, so it gets a little bit heavier. And then for further comparison, we've got the Aimpoint Pro. So I'm going to roll footage in of all these optics. This has a QD mount and a riser, so it would be even lower in weight if you remove the middle riser. But this one comes in at 12 ounces or 356 grams. So a bit heavier than the Trijicon. And then the EoTech, I believe it's the 512. 511 or 512. I can't even remember. But this one comes in at 237 grams or 8.4 ounces. So a little bit lighter. It's an ounce lighter than the Trijicon with the American Defense Quick Mount. So these two would be your weight saving. Now this is obviously fixed power at 1, where this is fixed at 3. So this one is better for longer engagements. So, I mean, take it for what it is, guys. I'm not sure if you're into weight savings. Those are your options, and that's what they weigh. But for now, I just want to mention that this one, the knock I find with it is that it has a really short eye relief. So eye relief means you really have to get up close. Otherwise, you get distortion, and you really have to find that point where the circle comes into full frame and there's no black around it. So that's the only knock with these ACOGs, is that the eye relief is really short. But with the short eye relief, I believe you get a really expanded field of view at 100 yards. So at 100 yards, this is going to have a really wide field of view. Whereas some of these ones, especially the Vortex, is going to really narrow. So as you magnify your field of view, imagine it's like a, like a baseball diamond, and the foul lines just keep getting narrower, and closes in. So that's why the military uses this. This is true 2 eyes open shooting. The idea is you just bring it up and with both eyes open, and what happens is you focus on the reticle, and it's your eyes impose it over the target, and you could keep both eyes open, and then when you do need to do more precise follow-up shots or longer distance shots, then you could really start using the hash marks and take your time. And the 3 power zoom is, I'd say it's good out to 200 yards. I've used a 3 to 9 scope at an outdoor range for 200. So I haven't obviously used this. It just arrived today, but I have no doubt that that it would be great for there. But I think the ideal, the ideal range for this would be 50 to 100, from what I've been reading about. So as far as size comparison goes, we saw the weight. I'll try to line them up, but you could see that it's a little bit longer than the Aimpoint, much shorter than the Vortex, and the shortest would be the EoTech. So I'm not sure if you could see, but as you can see, and in relation to a coffee crisp, there you go. That looks good, right? So you get what you pay for with this Trijicon. The Aimpoint, I believe, is really good quality too. I have to admit, I'm not impressed with the EoTech. It has a beautiful reticle with and I'll show you, hopefully I've already rolled it in, but it has a beautiful reticle with that big circle and the dot, and outside it picks up really well. But I tried changing the batteries and it wouldn't turn back on. And luckily, when I bought this, I bought it with an extra battery compartment, one of these. So this is an additional part where the batteries go in. And luckily I did, because one of those little terminals in there came out with the battery. So, a little disappointing. It really doesn't have many rounds through it. I know it is an older model. It's not one of the EXPSs or the XPS, but just a little disappointing, $500-600 optic, and it's not really holding up as well as I would have liked. But it still works. I put the new one on and it's working. Maybe it's something I did. Maybe it's the way I store it. I'm not sure. Hopefully this one holds up, but when it, like I said, beautiful optic, just a little frustrating that something like that would happen with so few rounds. Whereas, this Aimpoint is the longest optic I've had, and I've put many thousands of rounds through this, and this thing is a beast. Just works. I've taken it off numerous rifles and just put it back on with its click locking system. So once you hear that click, it's like a torque wrench. It won't go any further. And this thing has just been bomb proof. I picked it up when they back almost 9-10 years ago when they were like $3.99 in Canada. Now they're going for six, five something, six in Canada. So great optic. And honestly, I don't even think I've changed the battery once on this. Just going from memory, if I have, it's once. I don't even remember. So great optic. This one, like I said, very little use. The batteries weren't working. I had to change them even though I don't use it. And when I took the batteries out, the stupid little connector came out with it. So just a little frustrating, but it still works. And hopefully the new one is better. And we'll see. I'll give a report later. So I've mentioned in my other video with the Strike Eagle, the only thing I don't like about it is it has a really crappy field of, eye relief. At 1 to 3, it's really, really good. But once you go past 3, the eye relief just goes to crap. And you really have to get your face up there, which is not such a big deal if you're shooting from a bench. It's just frustrating that you set your eye relief, you mount it on the scope, you mount it on the rail, and you have your stock set. And then once you go from 1 to 5 or 6 or 8, you really have to change your whole shooting stance, and that's what I don't like. I hate that, I could pick it up and shoot, and then if I dial it in, I kind of have to like change my grip, either lower the stock one from I usually use it at the 5th or 6th. I have to either shorten it or really sidle up to the ocular, and that's a little frustrating. So I find myself using just 1 to 3 on this one. So that's kind of why I went with this fixed power. I figure I could set my eye relief, put it where I want it, and it's always the same. And when I pick up that rifle and shoulder it, it's muscle memory. It's always going to be in the perfect spot. So you give up a little bit in the short that you can't go to a true 1 power, but I think it's worth it. And I'm just really anxious to get this out and try it. Now, of course, with the ARs being grounded, I'm playing with the idea of throwing this on my Remington 700 308. I'm sure they're capable of withstanding 308 recoil, but I'm just worried that I might not be able to get the needed eye relief, and we'll see. I'm not sure. The only other thing I could throw it on in the meantime is a 22, so I could try it on my little 1022. But I think I'm going to give it a shot on the 308 and see how that goes. So guys, just a quick comparison. Like I said, I just wanted to show you this because it came in today. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm really anxious to get shooting again and do a real video showing some shooting footage and some accuracy tests and just how they compare. Just another quick reminder, tomorrow, May the 8th, these things are going to be on sale, 40% off. Warrior X Pro, 2250 lumens, I think, 600 meters of throw. olightstore.ca. They're delivered by Amazon. Great rechargeable back. This button that turns it on and off is actually the magnetic charger. Has a 5,000 milliamp battery. Can't recommend this enough. They're on sale tomorrow with a free gift. And that's it, guys. Hit up the subscribe button, like it, share it. Let me know if you have any questions. And this doesn't apply to you guys. You guys can ask me anytime you want. My wife got me that when she wasn't mad at me. So I'll put those on my my trigger lock keys. So guys, comments if you have any questions. Thanks. Take care. So here's just a quick how it would look on an AR. I didn't want to take off the rear sight, but with the shoulder stock collapsed, you know what? It actually is really good. Like if you want to shoot it as a little pistol type AR, chances are if I do run it on this one, I'll remove these backup sights and set it as far back as I can so I could get a real where I actually even here it's not bad. Wow, I'm actually surprised. But I'd still have to move this. So I just wanted to show you how it would look. I think it looks great. Matches just looks really badass. So hopefully the CCFR does their best and gets these things back up and running, because it's going to be really sad if I never get to shoot this again. By far my favorite AR. 7.5-inch barrel, can't go wrong. There's a video of it somewhere. Look up, click it. Great stag. Okay guys, take care.